projects are underway to create new land by reclamation. Construction is carried out using special sand and gravel mixtures reinforced with geotextile. These islands are stable, durable, and can be planned more effectively than dense urban environments. Living on water is not just an architectural whim, it is a way to expand city boundaries without destroying nature on land. And yet, when it comes to redistributing water on a national scale, China reaches a level where even geographical concepts begin to shift. The South-North project is the largest water diversion project in history. Its goal is to take water from the abundant rivers in the south of the country and deliver it to the arid regions of the north, including Beijing and Tianjin. This is not a single canal, but 3 massive routes with a total length of over 2,000 miles. To implement the project, it was necessary to build not just canals, but also aqueducts, tunnels under mountains, pumping stations, and reservoir lakes. One of these tunnels runs beneath the Yellow River and stretches for dozens of miles. Essentially, it is an underwater river inside a pipe. The system is automated. Sensors monitor water quality, pressure, and leaks. Everything that once depended on nature is now under the control of engineers. Thanks to the project, water supply has been restored in the northern provinces, agriculture has been revived, and dependence on wells has been reduced. And this is not the end yet. China continues to expand its water diversion network, because if you can move a river, you can also rethink the very concept of water resources. When it comes to subways, most people imagine the usual tunnels beneath city streets. But in China, metro is built where most countries would have given up. Under rivers, beneath bays, and through challenging geological conditions. All with accuracy down to the foot. In Shanghai, for instance, one metro line crosses the mighty Huangpu River beneath its bed. The builders used shield tunneling technology, in which a massive boring machine carves a path under the water while simultaneously laying concrete rings, forming a perfectly sealed tunnel. Inside, trains travel at speeds of over 50 miles per hour, without the slightest vibration or noise. But the main thing is safety. Each underwater section has an autonomous monitoring system. If there is a leak somewhere, ground displacement, or even a sudden pressure spike, the system automatically sends a signal and the movement is halted. Everything is designed for decades ahead. Underwater metro systems are no longer a rarity, but an everyday reality for China. But to lay such routes, you need equipment capable of operating at the limit. And such machines have long since become a reality here. On construction sites in China, you can see equipment that amazes even the most experienced engineers. Huge industrial drilling complexes, hundreds of feet long, look like mechanical monsters. They don't just drill, they dig, reinforce, pour concrete, and seal, all in a single cycle. One such impressive machine is the ultra-heavy TBM, which is commonly used for constructing subways as well as underwater tunnels. It is so massive and complex that its assembly and eventual launch can take several months to complete. Inside, dozens of operators, engineers, and technicians monitor parameters in real time. There are machines designed solely for tunneling through permafrost. Others are under rivers. Still others are made for seismically active zones. Each one is the result of decades of engineering development and multi-million-dollar investments. China is betting on machinery that replaces entire crews and works where humans are powerless. Such machines require a constant supply of materials. And this is where a system comes into play that is hard to even imagine. It delivers concrete to where it is needed, deep underground. On the outskirts of Chongqing, one of the most unusual concrete plants in the world is in operation. It is called the concrete monster. It's not just a plant, but an entire underground complex connected to dozens of construction sites through tunnels. It operates around the clock, delivering concrete through pipelines directly to the required location, deep underground, underwater, or through solid rock. Its output is millions of cubic feet per month. This makes it possible to build without stops, without interruptions, and without outside interference. The concrete arrives at the worksite already at the right consistency, with precisely calculated additives at the required temperature and with the correct setting time. Engineers are proud of this system. It allows them to minimize transportation costs, eliminate delays, and improve quality. This is the conveyor of the future, the concrete pulse of the mega project, without which not a single next-generation construction site would be possible. But even such a precise system must take into account a factor that cannot be predicted: the elements. Water, which can come suddenly and destroy everything in seconds. In the city of Shenzhen, a unique rainstorm protection system operates, a hidden trap capable of absorbing torrents of water in just minutes. It is an underground network of reservoirs connected to storm drains throughout the city. When it starts to rain, the water instantly goes underground without lingering on the surface. But it's not just about the reservoirs. The entire system is managed by an intelligent platform that receives data from weather stations, satellites, and street sensors. It predicts where the downpour will go and reallocates resources in advance, opening floodgates in some places, increasing pump power in others, and activating emergency protocols elsewhere. This is not just a sewage system. It's a living system that adapts to the climate in real time. Thanks to it, even during a hurricane, the city can keep functioning. The subway operates, the streets aren't flooded, and equipment doesn't come to a halt. However, all of this is only possible if there is space beneath the metropolis, and if there isn't any, it is created beneath the busiest districts, right where no one suspects. In the central districts of Beijing and Shanghai, beneath multi-lane highways and skyscrapers, there are warehouses hidden, not ordinary ones, but high-tech storage facilities that operate completely autonomously. There are no people inside, only robots. They receive commands via a wireless network, move cargo, sort, pack, and deliver it upstairs. Houses serve not only for store logistics. They work with pharmacies, supermarkets, and delivery services. Thanks to this, it is possible to reduce the load on the roads, speed up deliveries, and free up valuable ground-level space. Cargo is moved through underground corridors faster than by trucks stuck in traffic jams. The system is organized so that any point in the city can be supplied within half an hour. For emergency situations, reserves of water, medicine, and food are provided, which can be activated instantly. This is the invisible infrastructure without which a metropolis could not function at its pace. But even these tunnels are far from the limit. Chinese engineers are already going even deeper, down to where an entirely different level of planning begins. You might think the subway is already deep enough, but in China, things are done differently. Beneath the subway lines in the largest metropolises, new levels are being designed and already built, even deeper, even more ambitious. These are not just technical rooms. They structure floors where everything will be located, from transportation hubs to data processing centers. In Shanghai, for example, projects have already begun where warehouses, server parking lots, and even mini-factories are situated beneath subway stations. This saves space, protects critical facilities from external threats, and creates a multi-level security system. Moreover, some of these levels are designed to accommodate personnel temporarily in the event of a disaster. The depth of such facilities can reach more than 200 feet. Given the complex geology, proximity to water, and seismic activity, this requires an entirely new school of engineering. Everything must be stable, self-sufficient, and safe. And while underground levels used to be built only in megacities, today such solutions are being implemented even in provincial centers. But such structures are needed not only for development. In some regions, they are becoming a weapon against nature itself. Southwest China is prone to landslides, while the eastern coast is regularly hit by typhoons. The northwest is a zone of seismic activity. All of this is not just a theoretical risk, but a real threat to millions of residents. China has chosen not the path of defense, but of active counteraction. In mountainous areas, underground shelters are being built to accommodate thousands of people. They are constructed near villages and connected to local water supply and communication systems. During an earthquake, people can descend there in a matter of minutes. In some areas, these shelters are equipped with automatic airlocks and air filtration systems. On the coasts, where a storm front can displace entire neighborhoods, embankment platforms are being built, artificial elevations with underground rooms capable of withstanding the impact of a wave. Beneath them are warehouses, pumping stations, and generators. This is not just protection, it is a way to make the elements controllable. And yet, amid all this technological grandeur, there are projects that are hardly ever mentioned. Those that are hidden not only underground, but also beneath a veil of silence. On the map of China, there are places where access for outsiders is restricted. There are no tourists there, no filming, no news. But satellite images reveal strange anomalies, new roads, power line extensions, and the movement of heavy machinery. These are signs of something massive being built. One of the country's interior regions, a facility is being constructed that could change the approach to logistics across all of Asia. It is quite possible that we are talking about an underground transportation hub with multi-level infrastructure designed to last for decades. Such facilities are not built for short-term gain. These are investments in the future, in strategic autonomy, in independence from weather, military and geopolitical factors. China is working with a 50 or even 100-year horizon in mind. This is both frightening and awe-inspiring at the same time. And if you think that everything has already been built, you're in for a surprise. Because the plans that are emerging on the horizon are far more ambitious than anything that has come before. Government documents, leaks from international forums, and publications in engineering journals all point to one thing: China is not stopping. Hundreds of projects are planned through the middle of the 21st century, from new canals to underground cities. Among them are the second phase of the South-North project, the construction of a deep tunnel beneath Tibet and underground high-speed highways connecting megacities while bypassing surface developments. There are also plans to create autonomous underground agro-cities, where food will be grown independently of the climate. Great attention is being paid to environmental concerns. New projects are required to be energy independent, have zero emissions, and be equipped with complete water recycling systems. This is infrastructure designed with survival under any conditions in mind. And here the main question arises, why? The answer lies in strategy. China is not just building roads, tunnels, and dams. It is creating a new model of the state, self-sufficient, protected, and resilient to the challenges of the times. In this model, space is used to its fullest. The surface is for living, while the underground is for logistics, energy, production, and security. Each megaproject is a building block in the foundation of national stability. And it's also a signal to the world. The future belongs to those who are not afraid to dig deeper. Literally. A country that can move mountains, drill through rivers, and tame the elements is not just developing. It is resetting the rules of the game, and doing so quietly, beneath our feet. While we look at the surface, it is already shaping the future deep below.
أصل القعدة بالناس اللي فيها شويبس معاهم بتفرق.
They call it by different names. Some say the shadow over the desert. Others call it the silent roarer. But no one has a photograph of it. Not a single video. Only indirect traces and strange coincidences. It all began with eyewitness accounts in the southern part of Nevada. People reported a strange sound that resembled the hum of a turbine, but without its usual vibration. It swept overhead, leaving behind only echoes in their ears and a subtle tremor in their bones. No one actually saw the craft itself. At first, it was dismissed as just another SpaceX launch, which in recent years have become more frequent than thunderstorms in Arizona. But something didn't add up. There was no announced launch, no tracking in open sources, no telescope recordings, no flyovers detected by radar. There were only rumors and a strange recording on an Air Force frequency where a panicked voice shouted, "An unmarked object passed over us, altitude undetermined, no visual contact." The secrecy surrounding such events was so tight that even seasoned insiders were left guessing. But one name kept coming up more and more often, Elon Musk. Not openly, of course, but in hints. Especially after one of the SpaceX engineers who was fired for leaking information published several sketches on the dark web that resembled a next-generation fighter jet without a tail or wings in the traditional sense. Instead, it had a streamlined shape reminiscent of a flattened rhombus with protrusions that looked like muscles under the skin. If this really is the invisible beast, then it has far surpassed everything we considered cutting-edge aviation. But if no one has seen it, why is there so much talk about it? Because in some places it still left traces, or flashes. This happened late at night, when the sky over the desert was clear and smooth like glass. Several amateur astronomers were observing the Perseid meteor shower, but instead of shooting stars, they saw something completely different. A bright object suddenly flared up in the sky, but its trajectory did not go downward like a meteor. It moved horizontally and, most importantly, silently. Lively discussions immediately broke out on forums. Was it a satellite, a drone, or a movie stunt? But one of the witnesses, a former Air Force base technician, stated, "This isn't one of ours, or theirs. This is from the future." His words were soon deleted from the platform and the account disappeared, but someone managed to take a screenshot. The flash from Nevada appeared for only a second and a half, but thanks to a frame from a surveillance camera, an analyst from Canada discovered something strange. The object did not cast a shadow. With such a flash, that's impossible. The only explanation he could offer was an active light suppression system. In other words, the object itself controls how it is seen or not seen by those around it. And this is where SpaceX enters the scene. A month before the incident, at a closed meeting with investors, Musk let slip. The next step is to control not only the trajectory, but also perception. No one understood what he meant at the time, but after the flash, those words sounded like a hint. Perhaps we witnessed a demonstration of technology that will allow something to disappear before our eyes, camouflaging the device as cosmic noise or the darkness of a desert night. But why? At first glance, Elon Musk and military technology seem incompatible. He builds electric cars, sends rockets to Mars, and dreams of a multiplanetary humanity. But if you dig a little deeper, everything becomes logical and even frighteningly obvious. Musk has long been in control of movement in space. His Starlink satellites are not just about internet, they are potentially a global surveillance system. Tesla is not just a car, but millions of sensors on wheels. Add neural networks and autonomous control to that, and you get the ability to control the sky, the land, and the data. The only thing missing was speed. In other words, a fighter jet, but not an ordinary one. He needs one that can reach any point on the planet within minutes. Silent, autonomous, invisible. One that doesn't require a pilot, but is capable of carrying out special forces level missions. This isn't about war, it's about power. Over space, over time, over information. Behind the scenes, investors are discussing the idea of next-generation air delivery. Why wait 2 days for a truck when a fighter drone can deliver medicine from Brazil to Alaska in half an hour? But there is also a dark side. The same machine can attack without being detected. For Musk, this is the perfect addition to his empire. He isn't interested in traditional defense industry. He is building his own infrastructure for a new era, where a fighter jet is just another tool. The first mention of the Dark Falcon appeared on a technical forum dedicated to aerodynamics. Someone with the nickname Mosshawk posted a render labeled XK Shadow Falcon test. The image was quickly deleted, but the file had already spread through private engineers' chats. The most interesting part is that the caption used fonts identical to those used in SpaceX documentation. Later, the name Dark Falcon resurfaced in a patent application describing a system for distributing thermal loads on the body of a hypersonic vehicle. Although the patent itself was filed through a third-party law firm, it contained terminology that is typically found only in internal Tesla and SpaceX documents. Insiders began to piece the puzzle together. Some claimed that this codename concealed an experimental flying prototype that combined supersonic technology, stealth, and autonomous AI, something between a satellite, a drone, and an airplane. An interesting fact. On the day the flash occurred over Nevada, 3 unmarked SpaceX trucks were spotted in Texas, all heading to the same location. There is one place that journalists and drone enthusiasts rarely visit. It's an old hangar in West Texas, not far from the SpaceX site in Boca Chica. Officially, it's listed as a backup warehouse, but for the past 2 years, trucks with unknown cargo have been regularly arriving there. No logos, no license plates, guarded as if it were a nuclear facility. Previously, this hangar belonged to a private aerospace company that went bankrupt, and the building was bought out by investors connected to the energy sector. However, after digging through the transaction registry, journalists found a trail, a law firm linked to SpaceX. Local residents talk about a humming noise at night, about flashes visible through the sealed doors, and about heightened security that only appears on those nights when the lights go out completely. Data from nearby weather stations indicate a localized increase in temperature and pressure over a limited area, as if something is being launched inside. Satellite images show a strange configuration of the hangar roof, movable segments resembling shutters. According to some speculations, this is a mechanism for vertical takeoff. Musk's technology does not tolerate compromise. When the first images of the Dark Falcon began to leak online, most skeptics expected to see something familiar. A modified copy of existing stealth fighters, perhaps sleeker, maybe with unusual antennas, but still a recognizable shape. However, what started being discussed in closed aviator chats shattered all expectations. According to descriptions, the shape of the craft resembled not an airplane, but a drop of water flattened in the air. The angles were not just smoothed out, they were non-existent. No vertical stabilizers, no classic type wings or protruding elements. Everything seemed to be built into the body itself, like a flying sculpture. It's not just about aesthetics. Such a shape minimizes radar visibility to the limit and allows air to glide over the body rather than crash against it. Sources at an aerodynamics laboratory in California who worked on confidential models claimed that the body structure was designed with a special airflow in mind, not laminar, not turbulent, but a kind of intermediate regime that was previously considered unstable. According to them, it was Musk who insisted on studying it, arguing that a new era of flight requires a new understanding of air. And although no one has yet seen a flying prototype in public, a short video once appeared online. A surveillance camera at an oil well captured a shadow flying across the horizon, distorting the sky around it like a lens. People claimed it was him, only he was flying differently from ordinary airplanes. It was as if he was gliding along the edge of space. Whatever it was, its shape was clearly not designed for a showroom, but for one single purpose: absolute control over the air. And yet that's just the shell. What's inside's even more interesting. If the streamlined shape makes the craft invisible to the eye, then what's hidden inside makes it invisible to radar. One of the most talked about innovations in Musk's alleged project is the active plasma sheath system. This is not something out of science fiction. Several decades ago, scientists were already considering the possibility of enveloping an aircraft in a thin shell of ionized gas, plasma, capable of absorbing and scattering radio waves. Theoretically, such technology makes an object invisible to most radars. The problem is that plasma requires an enormous amount of energy and incredibly precise control. Until recently, such technologies were considered virtually unfeasible. But Elon has access to the most advanced power systems, from solar panels to supercapacitors that use principles close to quantum electronics. According to leaked information, the body of the Dark Falcon may be covered with a nanostructured mesh that emits ions under high voltage, creating a constant plasma shell around the aircraft. Coupled with the special composition of the outer material, this allows you to play with the reflection of the waves as if it did not exist at all. Some analysts believe that the plasma shell is not only stealth but also a potential defense against laser weapons. And if all this is true, then we are looking at an exceptional shadow that cannot be detected, cannot be struck, and cannot be predicted. And on top of that, it flies faster than we are used to thinking. When people in military circles talk about speed, they usually mean limits, supersonic, hypersonic, sometimes near-space velocities. But what aerospace engineers whisper about as they leave meetings under NDA is connected to new frontiers. Allegedly, a test prototype of the SOCOL has already broken the barrier of 25 miles per minute, a speed at which traditional designs fail and pilots cannot survive. That is why one key feature is the complete absence of a manned cockpit. The craft is, by definition, unmanned. Not a drone in the classic sense, but something more. It is not controlled by a human, but by a next-generation AI system, connected to a quantum processor capable of making decisions faster than a person can blink. But how does the craft manage to withstand such stress? The answer lies in the materials. One of the patents, filed through a front company, describes a composite based on graphene and a special titanium alloy that can retain its shape at temperatures close to those encountered during atmospheric entry. The craft's aerodynamics are designed not just to reduce drag, but to disperse it across the surface, transforming it into a stable thermodynamic envelope. Engineers familiar with the project describe a sense of both fear and awe. This is a craft that can travel from California to India in less than 15 minutes. The only question is why, or more precisely, how it does this almost silently. Anyone who has ever been near a fighter jet knows the sound is not just noise, it's a blow to the body, a roar that shakes the ground. But all the accounts related to the flights of Musk's mysterious craft say the opposite. Silence. Not just the absence of noise, but as if something is cutting the very sound out of space itself. Physically, this is impossible unless you interfere with the very structure of the sound wave. And this is where the technology rumored to be developed by one of Tesla's subsidiaries comes into play: active sound neutralization. This is not just a silencer, it's a system that, by predicting the shape and direction of a sound wave, instantly generates an opposite phase, thereby destroying the sound before it even reaches the observer's ear. Combined with the shape of the body and a plasma shell, the device literally becomes a ghost. It can't be seen or heard, and you don't even feel the vibration of the air, as if it glides through the fabric of space without leaving a trace. Those who have encountered it on military radars say, you know it was there, but you can't prove it. Perhaps this is exactly what Musk was aiming for, not just for his craft to be the fastest, but for it to become a myth before it's too late. And finally, the heart, the brain of this entire machine. Without it, everything above loses its meaning. The artificial intelligence controlling this craft is not an autopilot, not an assistant, but a commander. Sources from the engineering community involved in the Neuralink project claim that technologies developed for the brain-computer interface have also found application in military developments. But not in the sense that a human directly controls the machine, but rather that the machine can make decisions like a human instantly, with context, with emotions. One of the AI specialists described the system like this: it's not just a model, it's a predictor. It doesn't react, it anticipates, it doesn't wait for a command, it executes them before you even give them. And if that's true, then the device can not only dodge missiles, it can understand the enemy's behavior and change its strategy like an experienced ace pilot. But all of this creates a new level of threat. If a machine thinks, feels, and makes decisions on its own, where is the line between a tool and an independent being? And who really controls such power? With each piece, the puzzle becomes clearer and clearer. But the most interesting cards are still up Elon's sleeve, because even in reality, there's always room for rumors, especially when it comes to patents. Patent databases are real treasure chests, except instead of gold, they contain blueprints, formulas, and descriptions of what the future will look like. Musk is one of those who prefers to patent ahead of the curve. And although his companies often hide important technologies under layers of legal camouflage, attentive researchers have already started piecing together the map. One such patent is a system for vertical takeoff and landing using magnetic levitation. It is registered to an anonymous firm from Delaware. But in the contact information there is a person who previously worked at Tesla Energy. Another is a control module for an aerial vehicle with an adaptive cognitive system capable of learning from its own mistakes in real time. Even the materials described in the patents are astonishing. One document reveals the structure of a self-healing coating which restores its shape after micro damage thanks to nanorobots. Such materials are ideal for a craft craft that must withstand extreme loads and temperatures while remaining operational. But the key point is the connections between the patents. Different companies, different wording, but the same terms, the same physical principles, the same logic. Someone is clearly building something grand. And this entire mosaic points to one figure, Elon Musk. Technologies that are too complex for the market, too early for the civilian sector, too expensive for entertainment. It is precisely the patents that suggest the whole project is not a fantasy, but a reality, just not officially announced yet. But it's not just civilian analysts showing interest in these developments. Real attention is coming from another direction. DARPA, the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, operates in the shadows. If they're interested in a technology, things are serious. Recently, information has emerged from confidential sources. DARPA representatives have visited SpaceX facilities not only as observers, but also as potential partners. Leaks from correspondence reveal that discussions are underway about autonomous response systems, maneuvering modules, and so-called adaptive shells. All of these technologies curiously echo what is already being associated with the Dark Falcon. Elon Musk officially claims that his mission is the peaceful exploration of space. But behind-the-scenes discussions suggest that the line between civilian and military for him is becoming increasingly blurred. As is well known, DARPA is not just looking for technologies, but for technological leaps. If Musk truly has a flying machine capable of changing the rules of the game, this is not just a matter of defense, but of global strategic advantage. That is precisely why, according to rumors, several leading DARPA experts in the field of hypersonics have been transferred to a special closed group that is coordinated with SpaceX projects. If this alliance is real, it can mean only one thing. The craft is already ready to move from experiment to operational force. And if it's not just a means of transport, then what exactly does it carry on board? The most alarming anything else and is invisible to radar. It may also be carrying something capable of changing the course of any conflict. In unofficial circles, people have started talking about hyperweapons, a technology capable of disabling targets without physical contact. One hypothesis is an electromagnetic pulse generator built into the body. Such a pulse is capable of shutting down an entire city, destroying electronics within a radius of hundreds of miles. Another theory is a controlled plasma jet that incinerates the target at altitude, leaving no trace. There is, of course, no official confirmation, but leaks from contractors working with high-resistance materials suggest that inside the device, there may be a compartment capable of withstanding extreme overloads and heat. Some believe that Musk's weapon is not physical but informational, the ability to infiltrate enemy communications, GPS, and command and control systems. An invisible fighter acting like a virus that penetrates the very structure of information warfare. One way or another, if this is true, then Musk is no longer just an engineer or a visionary. He becomes a bearer of power comparable to that of a state, and such powers are eventually revealed. This question troubles both military analysts and aviation enthusiasts alike. When? All signs indicate that test flights have already taken place. It's just that no one recognized them. Too quiet, too fast, too well hidden. But a public demonstration is a different level. That is the moment when the technology steps out of the shadows and announces itself on the world stage. Perhaps Musk is waiting for the right moment, a conflict, a global event, or another technology exhibition, where, under the guise of a demonstration drone, something could take off, capable of rewriting the balance of power. Insiders claim that the craft is already prepared for a series of orbital tests with atmospheric re-entry. At the same time, it can launch without acceleration, using a magnetic catapult built into the hangar. Such a system could outperform all existing launch methods. Some analysts are betting on the end of the current decade, while others expect it within the next 2 years. But Musk is known for making moves unexpectedly. Maybe by the time you read this line, the Dark Falcon will already be in the air, and then only one question remains. How will this change everything? If the craft described under the code name Dark Falcon really exists and is functional, the consequences for humanity will be enormous. This is not just about changing approaches to aviation or defense. This is a shift in the very perception of the sky, speed, distance, and threats. Nations accustomed to air superiority suddenly find themselves vulnerable. Borders lose their meaning if one person, even with billions, is able to create a craft capable of crossing half the world in a matter of minutes and remaining undetected. And what if there are several such craft? Dozens. A world in which technology belongs not only to states but also to corporations is becoming a reality. And Musk is one of the first to take on this role. his falcon could become the icon of a new world. A world where it is not flags but logos that rule, where battles are fought not on the field but in the cloud, and where decisions are made not by a general but by an algorithm. But along with this comes hope. If such technologies are used not for destruction but for rescue, delivery, communication, and disaster monitoring, this could mark the beginning of a new era. The most important thing is that humanity has time to choose which direction it wants to go. Perhaps the greatest secret of the falcon is not how it flies, but who will decide where it flies. Imagine driving on 3 wheels, the ability to jump like a Mercedes, conquering curbs and even stairs. And all of this is made a reality by the Chinese sedan Yangwang U7. In this video, I'll explain exactly how. Let's go. About the company. Yangwang is a Chinese luxury electric vehicle brand, launched by BYD in November 2022. The brand name translates to look up or admire. The company is writing a new chapter in automotive history, becoming the first enterprise to showcase a platform with individual drive for each wheel. Yangwang demonstrates impressive ingenuity by adapting hybrids and electric vehicles to the most extreme conditions. Each model has unique capabilities. The U8 SUV can float, and the U9 supercar overcomes obstacles at incredible speed. And the one we are gathered here for today, the Yangwang U7, conquers curbs and stairs. The secret to such outstanding capabilities lies in the innovative engineering solutions of Chinese specialists. Choose electric or hybrid version. Both will develop a power of 1,300 horsepower. This is incredible power, comparable to a herd of wild Mustangs. And the torque of 1,584 Newton meters is 684 more than the luxurious Bentley Bentayga with its powerful W12 engine. Imagine the explosive dynamics. Yangwang leaves Bentley far behind. So, friends, let's head to the city of Shenzhen. It is there that the automotive marvel is assembled. The D-Z suspension. And the first thing that captivates in the Yangwang U7 car is the cool D-Z suspension, with a smart road surface scanner that adjusts the spring stiffness in real time. Essentially, each suspension strut can instantly change its height and stiffness, adapting to road conditions and driving style. So we can afford what we couldn't even dream of before. First, you can forget about harsh bumps on potholes and speed bumps. Second, the presence of a magic carpet effect. The suspension anticipates changes in terrain and prepares the shock absorbers in advance. Third, the car remains as stable as possible even during aggressive driving. The suspension uses an active electromagnetic system with a linear actuator instead of hydraulics. And that's why we jump. Just think about it. If you get a flat tire, the system will automatically lift it, allowing you to continue your journey to point B at a speed of 50 miles per hour for a distance of up to 19 miles. The suspension controls the position of each wheel with inch-level precision, ensuring minimal body roll and comfort when driving over rough terrain. This means that the D-Z suspension truly works and effectively compensates for all tilts even in extreme situations. Of course, you can't cheat physics, but when compared to other heavy electric sedans, the Yangwang U7 is a cut above. And yet it's one thing to create something technically incredible and another to tell, or better yet, show it. So how did we learn about the new suspension? I can say one thing, BYD impressed. In the video, the company uniquely demonstrated the suspension's operation with the help of a kung fu master. The car drives over asphalt chaotically covered with speed bumps. Meanwhile, a Wing Chun martial arts master maintains balance, standing on one leg on the roof of the sedan. Would you like to try this trick? I would like to. The safety of the Yangwang U7 is a model of advanced technology. But what about safety, aside from the impressive tricks? Engineers at BYD have developed an electric sedan with special attention to detail to ensure maximum protection for the driver and passengers. The Yangwang U7 is made from an aluminum alloy that is not only strong but also resistant to corrosion and mechanical damage. This means the car is ready to withstand the test of time and the environment. To increase the rigidity of the structure, some exterior parts are made from carbon fiber, which also helps reduce the overall weight of the car without compromising its safety. Let's also return to the installation of a motor on each wheel. This innovative solution allows the driver to easily adjust the torque of each wheel, enhancing the level of safety. For example, during a sharp maneuver, the system can instantly redistribute torque, ensuring stability and control even in the most challenging conditions. The Yangwang U7 offers 5 unique safe driving modes that make operating the vehicle intuitive and secure. The crab mode, is perfect for moving sideways, allowing you to navigate around obstacles with minimal loss of maneuverability. Sand dune. This mode allows for easy ascent and descent on sandy terrain, providing excellent road grip in challenging conditions. Continued movement. Even with a punctured tire, the vehicle can continue moving at high speed, which is crucial in emergency situations. Ice circle. This mode is designed to stop sliding if the U7 unexpectedly finds itself on ice, helping the driver maintain control. Turnaround allows the car to perform a 356-degree turn in tight urban conditions, simplifying maneuvers in heavy traffic. Additionally, the Yangwang U7 is equipped with adaptive cruise control and an advanced suite of intelligent driver assistance, including an automatic braking system and lane-keeping assistance. All these features work in synergy, helping the driver focus on the road and preventing potential accidents. Moose test. Let's test everything mentioned above and see how the Yangwang U7 performed in one of the most challenging trials, the moose test. This maneuver, simulating a sudden swerve to avoid an unexpected obstacle, has become a true litmus test for assessing a vehicle's stability and handling. And if previously such tasks were the domain of only lightweight sports models, the Yangwang U7, an electric super sedan with a considerable weight of 7,000 pounds, has overturned the notion of what is possible on the road. During the test, the U7 executed the sharp maneuver at a speed of 60 miles per hour. For comparison, many competitors, such as the Porsche Taycan and Tesla Model S Plaid, could not boast such results. This feat speaks not only to the high-performance metrics but also to the impressive work of the suspension and control system, which are capable of providing incredible stability at high speeds. What makes this result particularly remarkable is that 60 miles per hour is not just a good figure for a heavy electric vehicle. It is one of the best results among all production cars. The battery. Special attention is given to the powerful battery developed by BYD's subsidiary, FinDreams. This lithium iron phosphate traction battery, with a capacity of 135.5 kilowatt-hours, not only promises an impressive range of 450 miles per hour, but also ensures reliability and safety due to its non-flammability. Modern charging technologies allow you to fully experience the beauty of the innovative approach. Each side of the car is equipped with charging ports capable of delivering 250 kilowatts, and the peak charging power reaches 500 kilowatts. This means that in just 20 minutes, you can charge the battery up to 80%. Imagine that you can easily replenish your energy reserves as if you just sat down for a cup of coffee. For a couple of minutes and your car is ready for a long journey again. However, even despite the optimistic charging cycle, it's important to remember that the range of 450 miles was achieved according to the Chinese CLTC test cycle, and in real-world use, it may be slightly lower. Nevertheless, the reality remains impressive. On a lithium iron phosphate battery, you can drive, for example, from Moscow to Yaroslavl, enjoying every mile without worrying about recharging. Thanks to the support of simultaneous charging through 2 ports, the Yangwang U7 can receive charging from a power source of up to 500 kilowatts, which further increases its appeal to those who value speed and efficiency. Suspension tests. It's good to talk about it, of course, but let's watch another unusual video together. BYD's efforts were not in vain. In January, a video was released in which a user remotely controls the car. He guides a ball through a maze mounted on the car's roof. The electronics analyze the smartphone's gyroscope data and send commands to the suspension control unit, which tilts the car in the desired direction. The situation unfolds on the screen like this. So, the user controls the car remotely with a maze attached to its roof. Inside this maze, there is a ball that needs to be guided through the winding passages. The player watches the process through a camera mounted above the electric sedan, which broadcasts the image to a large television. Every movement, every deviation is not just a game, but a true demonstration of the car's intelligence. The electronics of the Yangwang U7 use data from the smartphone's gyroscope to send commands to the DSYS-Z suspension control unit, which tilts the car in the necessary directions, ensuring perfect balance and control. This amazing combination of technology and precision not only entertains but is also beneficial, contributing to a vision of the future where, in addition to traditional driving, drivers have the opportunity to interact with the car on a completely new level. I think we are getting closer and closer to a machine uprising. However, this is not the first demonstration of the Yangwang U7's capabilities. In May of last year, BYD already amazed audiences by showcasing the power of the powertrain and the onboard electronics' ability to distribute traction when the electric car conquered an icy slope of a ski jump with an incredible incline. This feat maintained the car's reputation as a true predator on any type of surface. Hybrid. Now let's get a little closer to the hybrid version of the sedan. It was released in March of this year. The hybrid is slightly larger than its electric version, which gives it an impressive appearance. It is equipped with wheels featuring slightly smooth rims with a diameter of 21 inches, providing a substantial and serious look. Thanks to a battery with a capacity of 52.4 kilowatt hours, the car is capable of covering 50 miles on pure electricity and up to 600 miles in hybrid mode when the gasoline engine is added. The cruising speed of the Yangwang U7 is 170 miles per hour, which allows for easy travel on high-speed highways. Special attention should be paid to the intelligent control system from BYD, which provides the ability for easy and intuitive interaction with the car. Every detail of the Yangwang U7 is thought out to the smallest detail. And if you are not yet ready to fully switch to electric vehicles, the plug-in hybrid will allow you to enjoy all the benefits of electric driving without unnecessary limitations. Interior. And now, what does this shaitan look like? What does it resemble? Its exterior appearance is the result of meticulous work by German automotive designer Wolfgang Egger, who turned the Yangwang U7 into a futuristic work of art. C-shaped headlights, known as carved forks, a dynamic LED strip, and the monumental square shape of the rear body create an impressive image. The illuminated logo, power-operated spoiler, panoramic sunroof, and optional camera, instead of a traditional rear-view mirror, emphasize the car's high-tech features. The sculpted hood, voluminous bumpers, and active grille shutters speak to the sporty character hidden beneath the elegant exterior. Even the trunk, with its 88 gallons, is power-operated, which demonstrates attention to detail. Inside, luxury reigns. How could it be otherwise? Premium Napa leather. Available in a pristine white with grey accents or a subtle orange. Envelops you in comfort. 2 rows of ergonomic seats equipped with electric adjustments, heating, massage, and ventilation are designed for long journeys. In the top configuration, you will find 2 wide seats in the second row with a separating armrest, providing maximum privacy. The technological core of the cabin is a whole system of touchscreens, a 23.5-inch LCD display, a 70-inch projection screen, a 13-inch central screen, and a 23-inch touchscreen for the front passenger open a portal to a world of information and entertainment. A virtual instrument panel, wireless charging, cup holders. Every detail here is designed for maximum convenience. And the 23 speakers of the Evidence Platinum audio system create a special atmosphere. Thus, the Yangwang U7 certainly represents a unique combination of technology and luxury, highlighting the exceptional status of its owner and setting new standards in the world of automotive design and comfort. Technology in inclement weather. A little about the not-so-hidden talents of the Yangwang U7. The car is capable of operating at a temperature of -86 degrees Fahrenheit, making it an ideal companion for winter trips in harsh climatic conditions. Imagine how the smart doors of this car automatically crack the ice, providing you with speed and safety when entering the cabin. This is not just a car. It's a true shield against bad weather. Additionally, the Yangwang U7 boasts outstanding waterproof capabilities, meeting the IP68 standard. This means it can confidently overcome water obstacles and is not afraid of liquid exposure. Think of the countless adventures awaiting you beyond city streets in the context of the Yangwang U7's capabilities. You can embark on long journeys across remote areas where you don't need to worry about reaching your destination. Even if the weather is unfavorable, the U7 is ready for the challenges. So, we have seen how the Yangwang U7 conquers curbs and stairs and even allows a kung fu master to maintain balance on the roof while driving on a bumpy road. But what do you think about this new Chinese electric sedan? Are you ready for such technological breakthroughs in the automotive market? Share your opinion in the comments. I look forward to your feedback. Thank you for watching. The world is on the brink of a technological revolution that will transform everything from medicine to transportation. China is already taking the first steps into this future, leaving competitors far behind. Are we ready for the changes? Flying cars. Shanghai, the year 2025. Dozens of flying cars move above the skyscrapers. Like a swarm of futuristic dragonflies, they glide silently through the air. This is not science fiction, but Chinese eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. They are changing the concept of transportation. In the past 2 years, China has turned the dream of air taxis into reality. The country has outpaced the West. The secret to success is revolutionary batteries, solid-state batteries with an energy density of 500 watt-hours per kilogram. They allow the vehicles to cover 250 miles without recharging, like from New York to Washington. For example, the EHang 216EA vehicle is capable of carrying 2 passengers. The flight range is up to 19 miles. Charging takes about 10 minutes. The Aerofuja cargo drone delivers up to half a ton of cargo. It operates in hard-to-reach mountainous areas, places where no truck can go. The real shock for the West is the scale of implementation. While the USA is discussing testing regulations, China has already completed over 10,000 commercial flights. A factory has been built in Guangzhou. It produces about 1,000 eVTOLs per year. What does this mean for the world? Firstly, traffic jams might become a thing of the past. Flying across the city will become accessible and fast. Secondly, China gains a new level of influence. The technology is already being purchased by more than 18 countries. But there is also a dark side. Military drones based on the same platforms could change the balance of power in the region. Driverless taxis. An ordinary day in Chinese megacities. You leave your house, open an app, and within a minute, a driverless car arrives for you. This is not science fiction. Robotaxis here have already transported 7 million passengers. The secret to success is revolutionary technology. Baidu Apollo's artificial intelligence processes 1,000 road scenarios per second. It easily handles even the most reckless traffic violators. For comparison, American counterparts like Waymo handle only 2 to the 100 scenarios. Chinese robotaxis have already traveled 20 million miles without serious accidents. This distance is equivalent to 80 trips around the world, a true breakthrough in scale. While the US is testing robotaxis in 5 cities, China has already launched them in 65. The cost of a ride is only $2 to $3. This is 3 times cheaper than a regular taxi. By 2030, the market will grow to $50 billion. What does this mean for us? The transportation revolution has already begun. Traffic jams will be reduced by 30%, emissions will be halved. But there is a downside. 2 million drivers may lose their jobs. Humanoid robots. Imagine a world where your coworker is a humanoid robot. It doesn't just assemble cars in a factory. It can run marathons. This is not science fiction. This is China in the year 2025. While the West showcases individual prototypes, Chinese humanoids are already working in factories. They assist in hospitals and even appear in sports arenas. The secret to success is unique technology and an affordable price. The Unitary DJI-1 robot costs $16,000. This is 10 times cheaper than the American counterpart from Boston Dynamics. It has already become a social media star, performing complex combat moves and dancing. The medical assistant GR1 lifts a patient weighing 110 pounds. That's like an adult man. In April 2025, 21 robots participated in the Beijing half marathon. Many of them ran faster than humans. But the main breakthrough is in the industry. At BYD factories, Walker S1 robots perform 70% of operations. This reduces costs by a third. China plans to produce 500 humanoids for every 10,000 workers by 2025, 5 times more than in the USA. What does this mean for us? The revolution has already begun. Humanoids will improve elderly care, make production cheaper, but also leave millions of people without jobs. Artificial intelligence. Next-generation artificial intelligence is already here. Systems that solve complex mathematical problems better than professors, write code more efficiently than experienced programmers. This is not science fiction. In 2025, the Chinese models DeepSeek and QW revolutionized the AI world. While the West is increasing model parameters, China has chosen the path of intellectual efficiency. The secret of success is a unique reinforcement learning technology. The DeepSeek R1 model, with 671 billion parameters, shows astonishing results. It solves 80% of the American mathematical Olympiad problems, writes code with 66% accuracy, and consumes 20 times fewer resources than OpenAI's counterparts. Its younger sibling, the QW30OB, has only 32 billion parameters, but surpasses many Western developments, and even works on a regular gaming computer. A true breakthrough in accessibility, using the QW30OB costs only 20 cents per million requests, cheaper than a cup of coffee. China has opened the source code of its models. This allows thousands of developers to create new applications. Already today, the technologies are used in financial modeling, logistics, and in preparation for the World Games of 2025. What does this mean for us? The AI revolution has become a reality. The professions of programmers and analysts will change drastically. The cost of software development will decrease significantly. But there is also a downside. China controls 70% of the supply chains for AI components. This provides an unprecedented technological advantage. Brain-computer interfaces. A person completely paralyzed after an accident regains the ability to communicate, simply by the power of thought. This is no longer science fiction, but the reality of Chinese brain-computer interfaces. In 2025, China makes a breakthrough in neurotechnology, leaving even Elon Musk's ambitious projects behind. The secret to success is revolutionary, non-invasive technologies. The Brain Talker device, resembling a regular headset, allows text input at a speed of 50 words per minute, faster than the average person types. The system does not require surgical intervention, unlike its American counterparts. The new bilateral interface from Tianjin is 100 times more efficient than Western developments. Moreover, it consumes 1,000 times less energy. But a real breakthrough in medicine. By 2027, Chinese doctors plan to restore speech and movement to thousands of patients with strokes and spinal cord injuries. The first trials on primates showed astounding results. Monkeys controlled a mechanical arm with 95% accuracy. What does this mean for us? A new era of human-machine interaction is approaching. Technologies that seemed like science fiction just yesterday will become available for a few $1,000s. But there is also a downside. Chinese BCI could gain access to our thoughts. This raises serious questions about privacy and security. Quantum technologies. Imagine a computer that solves tasks in a few hours. Even the most powerful supercomputers cannot handle them in billions of years. This is already the reality of Chinese quantum technologies in 2025. While the West is testing laboratory prototypes, China is launching mass production and deploying the world's first global quantum communication network. The secret of China's success is unprecedented investments and breakthroughs. The computer demonstrates quantum supremacy. It solves the most complex molecular modeling tasks, 1,000,000 times faster than American counterparts. And the Xiaohong chip, with 504 qubits, developed by the Chinese Academy of Sciences. It has become the most powerful in the world and opens new horizons for artificial intelligence and cryptography. But the real revolution is in quantum communication. The MOSI satellite provides absolutely secure channels between continents. A ground network spanning 3,000 miles is already operational, used for banking transactions and government communications. What does this mean for us? The world is on the brink of a technological revolution. Quantum computing will accelerate drug development and logistics. Costs will decrease by 20 to 30%. But these same technologies can break modern encryption systems. Data security will be at risk. New energy. Imagine a nuclear reactor and it cannot overheat. It does not require water for cooling and runs on fuel that will last for 20,000 years. This is not science fiction, this is a Chinese thorium reactor. It is already operational today in the Gobi Desert. While the world debates nuclear energy, China has made a revolution. The first industrial installation on molten salts in the world has been launched. The secret to success is its unique design. Unlike traditional reactors, the Chinese TMSRLF-1 specifically utilizes liquid salt, instead of water and solid fuel as its primary coolant. This makes it absolutely safe. Even in the event of an accident, the melt will simply solidify. No catastrophes like Fukushima. Thorium is used as fuel. China has more thorium than coal, and it is not suitable for creating nuclear weapons. The real breakthrough is its efficiency. 2 pounds of thorium produce more energy than 500,000 pounds of coal. The waste from such a reactor is hazardous for only 500 years, compared to 10,000 years for conventional nuclear power plants. By 2029, China will launch the first commercial station. The capacity is 60 megawatts. By 2035, they plan to build dozens of such installations. What does this mean for us? An energy revolution is inevitable. Thorium reactors will provide cheap electricity without harmful emissions. But there is also a downside. China, controlling this technology, will gain enormous influence over global energy. AI chip. Imagine a computer chip capable of training artificial intelligence without the involvement of Western technologies. This is already a reality. The Huawei Ascend.910D Gigabit is a Chinese processor that in 2025 challenged NVIDIA's monopoly in the AI chip market. The secret to success is its unique architecture. The Ascend 910D is manufactured at Chinese SMIC factories using a 7-nanometer process. It demonstrates performance comparable to the NVIDIA H100 flagship. Moreover, the cost of the Chinese chip is 30% lower. But the real breakthrough is in scaling. A cloud matrix cluster of 384 such chips delivers 300 petaflops. This is twice as powerful as the best NVIDIA systems. However, there is a price to pay for this. The energy consumption of the Chinese system is almost 4 times higher. What does this mean? The technological map of the world is changing before our eyes. Chinese companies can now train complex AI models without worrying about sanctions. This will accelerate the development of Chinese AI by 2 to 3 times, but a technological divide. Biotechnology. Imagine a world where medicines are grown from bacteria, fuel is produced from algae, and animal feed is made from industrial emissions. This is no longer science fiction, this is biomanufacturing in China. In the year it discusses the green economy, China is making a revolution, turning bioeconomy. The secret of China's success lies in unique innovations. Scientists have already learned to convert carbon dioxide from metallurgical plants into 5,000 tons of protein feed annually. This is enough to feed 1 million pigs. And bioreactors with genetically modified bacteria produce cancer drugs 10 times cheaper than traditional methods. But the real breakthrough is in scale. China already controls 24% of global pharmaceutical production, surpassing Europe and catching up with the USA. And very soon, investments in biotechnology will double, and the number of new drugs produced in China will triple. What does this mean for us? Medicine will become more accessible and the environment cleaner. But there is also a downside. China may establish a monopoly on key biotechnologies, as has already happened with solar panels. Chinese Android. Imagine an operating system. It works equally well on a phone, smartwatch, TV, and in a car, without delays, with perfect synchronization. This is Harmony OS from Huawei, a technological masterpiece. Already installed on 1 billion devices, it has challenged the monopoly of Android and iOS. The secret of success is its revolutionary architecture. Unlike Android, Harmony OS uses a microkernel. Its size is just 1,000th of Linux. This makes the system lightning fast and practically immune to viruses. The system automatically distributes resources between devices, turning them into a single supercomputer. For example, you start watching a movie on your phone and continue on the TV without manual connection. A true breakthrough in independence? After the American sanctions, Huawei created Harmonious Next, a fully autonomous OS, without traces of Android. Already, 4,000 popular applications have been adapted. By 2025, their number will exceed 1 million. What does this mean for us? The technological landscape is changing before our eyes. In China, Harmonious has already surpassed iOS, capturing 17% of the market. For users, smoother performance, new possibilities. But there is a downside. The world might split into two digital universes, Western and Chinese. Maglev technology. The train flies above the rails without a single wheel, accelerating to 621 miles per hour, faster than a Boeing 737. This is not science fiction, this is the reality of Chinese maglev technology. In 2025, China is building a new line. The length is 30 3/10 miles between Changsha and Luoyang. It will become the fastest in the world. The secret of maglev is magnetic levitation. The train hovers above the tracks without touching them. This eliminates friction and noise. The technology is environmentally friendly, no emissions. Energy consumption is reduced by 20% compared to conventional high-speed trains. A real breakthrough in the Hyperloop. China is already testing vacuum tunnels. In them, the maglev accelerates to 387 miles per hour. In the future, the journey from Beijing to Shanghai will be reduced from 5.5 hours to 1.5 hours. It's faster than an airplane. What does this mean for us? The transportation revolution has already begun. Maglevs will make travel fast, quiet, and safe. But there's a downside. China is building lines for $1.4 billion. Europe and the USA are still only discussing projects. 6G. A world where holograms replace video calls. Drones fly in perfect synchronization, without a single delay. This is not science fiction. This is 6th generation technology. 6G. China is already setting the rules of the game today. While the West struggles to implement 5G, Chinese engineers have established 3 key standards for 6th generation networks by 2024. The secret of 6G lies in its incredible features, data transfer speeds of up to 100 gigabits per second. This is 50 times faster than 5G. Latency will be reduced to microseconds. Surgeons will be able to perform operations remotely with precision down to an inch. The connection density will reach 10 million devices per nearly 39 hundredths of a square mile. A smart city where every streetlight, car, and road surface exchanges data in real time. The key is integration with artificial intelligence. 6G will become not just a communication network, but a giant nervous system of the planet. Computations and data analysis occur instantly. China is already testing the technology in Shanghai and Beijing. The commercial launch is being prepared for 2030. What does this mean for us? The revolution in communications will change everything, from medicine to transportation. Whoever controls 6G will control the digital world. Of 2050, where Chinese technology set the rules in all areas of life. This is not science fiction, this is our likely tomorrow. While Western countries discuss regulation, China is already today creating a future where it will control energy, communications, medicine, and even human consciousness. The secret of China's success lies in unprecedented technological expansion. By 2030, thorium reactors will provide 10% of Asia's energy. Quantum computers will crack modern ciphers, and brain-computer interfaces will become a mass product. And this is just the beginning. But the real revolution will occur in geopolitics. By controlling key technologies, China will gain unprecedented influence over the countries of the Belt and Road. Thorium reactors for the Middle East, quantum networks for Africa, medical BCI for Latin America, all of this will be supplied with political conditions. What does this mean for us? The world is on the brink of a new technological order. Western countries are already lagging behind by about 5 to 10 years in critically important areas. Without urgent investments of $50 billion and a strategy revision by 2050, they risk ending up on the periphery of technological civilization. However, the biggest risk is not in lagging behind, but in division. If we do not develop common standards for AI, quantum technologies, and biointerfaces today, tomorrow we may face a world divided into hostile technological blocks. These breakthroughs are not just news, but a signal. The future is arriving faster than we thought. Some will watch from the sidelines while others will create it. The only question is, which side will you be on? And the machines rose from the ashes of nuclear fire and a war began to annihilate humanity. And it went on for decades, but the final battle will not take place in the future. It will take place here, in our time, right now. I bet you recognize this spine-chilling text and even mentally heard the famous soundtrack. That's right, it's the inimitable Terminator. This is a war of humanity.